Time Warner Cable Nebraska On Demand is moving to Channel 411 on April 19th. We'll still have the same great content, complete Husker coverage.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
High school sports.
Hit a ball big with a jump pass over there.
NET programming and community programming. So remember, on April 19th, Nebraska On Demand moves to Channel 411, only on Time Warner Cable.
Nebraska held their 13th spring practice before the spring game. I'm Nebraska On Demand's Katie Falco here with Huskers Illustrated Aaron Babcock. And Aaron, we're kind of winding down. You know, we have one more practice before the spring game. You know, what are the coaches saying at this point? What can we expect to see on Saturday?
Well, I think at this point on Saturday, what we're looking for is that I think the coaches are going to be breaking down each individual play. They're not necessarily concerned about scoreboard or anything like that. It's more about breaking down the film afterwards and how many plays did the guys take off, how many plays did they make mistakes, and what things they can go back and work on. So that's the number one thing that coaches will be looking for on Saturday.
And they drafted teams today for the game. We don't know anything till tomorrow?
Yeah, that's correct. The Bo's tradition has kind of been to let a couple of the seniors draft teams, and so they drafted the red and white teams. Everybody's pretty tight-lipped about how that process went today, but we do know that Brandon Kinney, Taylor Martinez, Yoshi Hardrick, and Alfonso Dennard will be on one team, so that'll be part of the red team. But we should have the entire rosters tomorrow on HuskersIllustrated.com so fans can come over and check that out.
Well, that'll be exciting to see who's playing with who. And you said Brandon Kinney. I kind of talked to him today, and he just had this big smile on his face when we kept asking him what we can see, and he just said, we're going to play fast. That's all we got from him.
Yeah, I think Saturday maybe one of the more interesting things we'll see is this new offense that Coach Beck has instituted and how much no huddle they're going to run. Brandon indicated they do run quite a bit of no huddle, and they've had to adjust both their conditioning and their mental framework to stay within things. But I think that may be the number one thing that the Husker fans want to see on Saturday.
And today we got to speak with both coaches, Ross Els and Corey Raymond. And, you know, Els just seems very excited, not only about being here, but about what's going on with the spring and what we're going to see in the fall.
Yeah, Coach Els was a great fit, I think, on this staff. He knows everybody. He was on Coach Solich's staff over at Ohio, and he really is very excited about the talent he's getting to work with these linebackers. Obviously, he said he went through and watched Levante David's film from last year. He watched every play of David's at least twice because he said he was trying to figure out, was he that smart of a player? Was he just athletic and overcoming his mistakes? And he basically said that the key with Levante David is he's that smart of a football player. He picked up the defense obviously very quick last year, and that he's an incredibly intelligent football player, which we've heard about his athleticism, and I think that speaks a lot to him.
And Coach Els said we may see some different things on the field this year. What was he saying about that?
Well, I think the main thing that he pointed out was that they've tweaked some things within their defensive scheme. And so as opposed to making some huge overhaul, they've been able to move a player a couple of feet one way or another, give him a slightly different assignment, so that within the same scheme, they've been able to make very simple changes for the defensive players, but it's been very hard to pick up for the offensive players.
And listening to Coach Raymond's talk, you know, he talked a little bit about the technique and why that's so important for his players to, you know, have that technique. And what was he saying about what we're going to expect to see?
Yeah, we've heard a lot from Alfonso Dennard and some of the other players that Coach Raymond is about technique, and he's really almost a mathematician when it comes to watching the players and analyzing and breaking them down. And the way he described it best is that each of these players are incredible athletes, and every Saturday they're going to go up against another incredible athlete. So really the thing that can differentiate them from their opponent is those little differences in defense and in technique that will set them apart and maybe give them that extra separation when it comes to game time.
Okay, well, thank you, Aaron, for being with us. And again, like we said, the red and white teams will be up on HuskersIllustrated.com tomorrow. For Time Warner Cable's Nebraska On Demand, I'm Katie Falco.